Glad to have everyone listening to us tonight. We're going to be studying Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus in the dating scene. We're going to be studying or looking at the 5 stages of dating. And I want to just review with everyone before we get into that, all those stages. I wanted to review what the 5 stages are, and also like to introduce everybody that's here. First of all, my name is Unique Inspirational Coach, and I'm also known as Mother Nature.
Hello and good evening, everybody. They call me the Love Doctor.
Hello, I'm Lady Style, aka the Style Vixen.
Thank you for everyone being here tonight. I'm really looking forward to our discussion. Last week we reviewed a lot of the differences between men and women, and in the dating world, it's probably no different than, on a day-to-day basis. What we challenge with is the gender differences between us. But I'd like to just review a little bit of the learning the differences between kind of men and women. I'm going to just review that really quickly and why we're doing this. Gender insight helps us to be more tolerant and forgiving when somebody doesn't respond the way he or whoever you're with doesn't respond the way that we would expect. With new insight, we have added wisdom and power to change our approach to our situation rather than seeking to change your partner. Because, when you meet somebody, you don't want to be changing another person. That's impossible. When you're younger, you do that. As you get older, you really need to think about who we're with and that, respect the people that we're with. So in learning the differences between the different genders, we don't have judgment. What we try to do is look at our different genders and how we think. We just think differently. But we can also get to the same point, which is, wanting to have better communication. And using these insights will assist us to respect your partner in ways that are important to them, and will help you understand how the opposite gender even thinks. Learning what a healthy relationship is will assist overcoming more challenging problems as you progress in the dating scene and the different stages that you're going to go through, because obviously when you start in stage 1, we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. Stage 1 is attraction stage. Stage 2 being uncertainty stage. Stage 3 is exclusivity. 4 is intimacy, and 5 is engagement. Men and women really have different styles of communication. We're different in our brains and hormones and stress levels are very different. Our nutritional requirements and exercise requirements are very different. So, it's not who's right or wrong. It's just learning to understand how we think when we communicate. So tonight we're delving into the 5 stages, and we're going to talk about stage 1. Going to try to go into the different stages in a little bit more detail than normal, just so that if you're out there trying to date and you're wondering, like, what stage am I in, you'll be able to maybe identify with some of the things that we're talking about tonight. And in all honesty, I can tell you that certainly when I was younger, I didn't think about these stages. However, had I read the book, Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, I'd probably have had a little bit less stress, and maybe even to this day I have a better understanding that when a man talks to me and they say certain things to me, I have a better understanding of where it's coming from, and I don't take it so personal. And I'm sure that if you're a man and you're going through this also, Dr. Love has been involved with this conversation for some time now. He's probably getting that same feeling. We're just our brains work a little differently when we communicate. So let's talk about stage 1 attraction. Who doesn't like attraction stage?
Yeah.
Who likes that stage?
Yeah.
So stage 1, In stage 1 of dating, we experience our initial attraction to a potential partner. In this stage, the challenge is to make sure you get the opportunity to express that attraction and get to know your potential partner. One thing to talk about here is that you automatically, I'm sure, are thinking about physical attraction, which part of it is that. But physical attraction alone is not enough. Who would agree with that?
I would agree.
Would you speak to that? Go ahead, Althea.
No, I was just going to say I agree.
Okay. Physical chemistry alone is short-lived. It is only based on sexual gratification without any strings. After a few encounters with a physical passion, this chemistry will quickly dissipate. The real test is whether he still or she still likes and loves him or her after he gets to know him or her. When physical chemistry is not backed up by the chemistry in the mind, heart, and soul, then it cannot last and grow in time. I know that's a lot said in one paragraph, but would anybody like to speak to that?
Sure. When it comes to attraction and physical chemistry, it encompasses a multitude of things. When you are attracted to somebody, you're not just attracted to how they look. Sometimes you're attracted to their personality, their character, the moral compass, the conversation that you two engage in, and you try to see if you have some type of common ground. All those encompass that, because it's going to tell you if you are attracted to that individual, because once you see the person, or man or woman, you may be attracted to them, but you may not be attracted to them intellectually. And then if that turns you off, then you'll see that you're no longer attracted to them, because the level of intellect, no common ground, it obliterates everything, and everything becomes meaningless. You know, because after the attraction phase is the next phase, and you don't want it to be short-lived. You want the same reason why you were attracted to the person in the first place to be long-lasting and not short-lived, excuse me. And that's something that's important that you must value in the attraction phase.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Althea has a look on her face. I want to know what you're thinking.
I disagree with Dr. Love here. Exactly what he said. It's not necessarily the way the person, their physical appearance. Definitely for me, it has to have some intellect. I have to have a conversation with you. Also, your personality. I'm not the life of the party, so I really don't like to date people who are very loud and obnoxious and that type of thing. So that would definitely not be someone that I would be attracted to. So I just would definitely agree with what he had stated.
Yeah, and we all have different personalities. There is no right or wrong answer. You either click or you don't click with a person, and when you're dating, that's the wonderful part of dating, is that you get to go out with different people to see, you know, who are you going to click with? Because, you know, if you are going to end up in the 5 stages of dating and end up in the engagement, if that's your goal, then you want to date. And this is the stage. I will tell you, in reading the material that I'm reading, stage 1 is definitely the stage to be dating a lot of different people, so that you're not getting into stage 2 and 3 and committing yourself to somebody and hurting a lot of different people. So this is definitely the stage where you can keep more things on a friendship, which is good. And finding out if you want to go to that next level.
I have a question.
Yes.
So stage 1 is attraction, and you need that to sustain. So I want to make sure I'm understanding. So stage 1, evolves into stage 2? It's
That's
just like a
it,
continuous...
it evolves. Yeah, once you realize that you would like to pursue a person more than maybe once or twice, 3 or even 3 or 4 times, and you're not dating a lot of different people, you're going into stage 2 and 3, or actually stage 3, which we'll get to, as exclusivity. You don't want to be jumping around to different people. You are then decided that I want to be with this person. So basically, it's an evolution of steps that, just kind of happens.
Well, and that kind of clarifies a little bit for me in, been in the dating game for a long time, that probably a lot of the men that I have met have really just been stuck in stage 1.
Okay. So that was upsetting for you then.
They've been stuck in stage 1, so which means
Okay.
that they are dating multiple women all the time. They're not really moving on to the next stage.
And if that becomes a career for somebody, that becomes a problem. But
it's not a career, but it makes you understand.
But it makes you understand what their mentality is.
Correct.
And what they're trying to accomplish is to find the right person that they think that they could pursue a deeper relationship with.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we welcome everyone to join us, too, in calling in, because this conversation is not just about us. We'd like to include everyone that's listening. Please call in at 561-660-7653. And I'm sure you're either watching us either on Facebook or the web is usdiscoverytalentradio.com. So, to get a little bit deeper into stage 1, I wanted to also talk about some of the differences between men and women in this stage, because it's really important to understand and identify with what you might be seeing from a man, if you're a man, what it is in a woman that you might be seeing, and if you're a woman, what you might be seeing in a man. To sustain attraction in stage 1, we must express our best and positive self. I mean, a lot of people say, well, I'm just going to be real. This is who I am. Well, that's okay. But basically, if you want to really pursue yourself, you want to bring the best light to who you are, because there's a lot of positive attributes about who you are. And we know, and they know, that there's also negativities probably down the road. They're going to learn about that person. But you don't want to really be bringing that out to maybe 3 or 4, because you don't have the glue to keep that relationship going, especially if you do like somebody. You want to be presenting yourself in the best way possible.
So are you really presenting the real you? Or is this
you are. Well, I am so glad you said that, because until I really read this material, I always thought in my head, because, I was married for 35 years. What did I know about dating? I was really young when I dated, and I didn't date a whole lot of people. If I had to redo my life over, I definitely would date more. And that is just so that I'm finding the person that I click best with, and that I'm not molding myself to somebody else, but that we're molding ourselves together. Some of the things that I wanted to talk about, again, I wanted to mention how a man really thinks in regards to some areas. When a man is interested in a woman, quite automatically he treats her the way he would want to be treated. Now, keeping that in mind, they're coming from their perspective. In many cases, that is not what a woman will appreciate. What do you think I mean by that? What do you think that means?
Read the question again.
When a man is interested in a woman, quite automatically he treats her the way he would want to be treated. In many cases, that is not what a woman would appreciate.
Good question. I've been in the dating game for quite some time. Currently single right now. Now, see, with a lot of women, what I've experienced is that a lot of women that want a committed relationship, and when they meet a guy that's ready for commitment. For example, myself, if I'm looking for somebody and, you're attracted to me, I'm attracted to you, vice versa. Typically, for me, I'm direct, I'm straightforward, not in a negative way. It's just me saying that I want you, I'm serious, I'm ready, let's go. And for a woman that's never had someone, or that's never come across a man that's serious, that knows what he wants, they may be surprised or shocked, and they don't know how to take that. I say that because I've experienced some women that are like that. They've been with men that they've been with, and then once they finally meet someone that's serious, ready, and that's ready for commitment, and that's straightforward, sometimes it could, I wouldn't say turn them off, but it can scare them just a little bit, not in a bad way. It's just saying that they've never experienced something like that before. You're not used to someone serious. You're used to someone playing the ball field, or like Steve Harvey said in the book, they're sport fishing. They dabble. They kind of put their right foot in the water and then they'll tap it up a few times. So the water could be you where they're dabbling with you, and they might put a dog leash on your neck and maybe string you along for a little bit. Some guys are like that, and you got to see what it is about you that attracts those men. And if you like that, but they're treating you wrong, you have to be not woman enough, but smart enough to know that, hey, you know what? This isn't right for me. I should be treated better than this. But when it comes to myself, with a woman, and I like you, and I'm attracted to you, I give you A1 treatment. What A1 treatment is, I'll treat you like maybe no other married man with a wife wouldn't treat his wife. So I'll see if I can do better.
Phones should be ringing by now.
Now, mind you, I'm not Mr. Perfect, but when it comes to treating a woman correctly, I can do it properly, but not perfect. But there are some women that aren't accustomed to that. They don't know what chivalry looks like nowadays. Sometimes chivalry is a mystery. It's you can't see it, but you hear it. Until you know what it feels like, then you understand what it's like. But a lot of men nowadays, some of them grow up a little late. You're like a flower. You bloom late. You grow up a little late. So guess what? When it comes to certain women, you can't give them that A1 treatment. They get the B1 treatment. It's okay, but not so great. So if you like that, carry on. If you don't, change it. But the thing is, if you want change, you have to ask yourself if you want it. Once you want the change, then you have to tell the person that you're with that it's not going to work out, because you're all in. It's like a car note. You can't sign for 6 months. You have to sign for the term, for the long term. If it's 6 years, it's 6 years. You can't unsign a car loan, So when you're with a woman, you have to be all in, vice versa for herself. So with that, that's my answer.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. Did you want to mention something or say anything, Althea?
Well, you had mentioned that a man is going to treat that woman, if he's truly interested in her, in the way that he would want to be treated. And how is that different from what a woman really wants? Right. And it's probably different based on just our pure attraction, or like women are more emotional about certain things. So a man may say, I'm treating you the way that I would want it to be treated, but you, as a woman, sometimes I feel it's not enough because I want more. But they are quote unquote, doing it in a positive way.
Right.
And that's just based on how we give and receive information. So,
well, I think you're both on the right track.
I like what Dr.
Here,
Love
sure.
said, but at the same time, like when you say that, like you know, you're straightforward and you're upfront. As a man, I think that's viewed as okay. But let's say if I were to do that, then I am labeled as the aggressor, the she-man in the relationship. But I don't want to be the she-man, but at the same time, I want to have some groundwork laid out because I don't want to be wasting my time either.
But remember, we're in stage one.
I know, but
so
stage one, he's attraction, but he says
right.
you got to be straightforward. So
right.
that's why I was just trying to understand.
Right.
How would you see someone who came back at you the way that what you were saying? Would that woman look like an aggressor, too aggressive?
Okay. Depending on the person, I don't take it negatively. For certain people who haven't had that, then it's gonna come off that way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like drinking. It's kind of like drinking. It's kind of like drinking Fiji water versus Zephyr Hills. Fiji is more smoother. Once you drink it,
Okay.
you can see.
Okay.
But I've had a woman come at me that way, and I didn't take it the wrong way, because I've experienced some women where they are so tired of not getting that man that's not so serious.
Okay.
He's still playing baseball.
Right.
He's not in the major league.
Right.
You know.
Still playing in the
Right.
field.
And he hasn't been recruited yet or become recruitment material.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So whether you're young or old, it's not about that. It's about the experience you have, the person that you meet. Do they fit your criteria? Okay, because when you see that person, and then you experience or you've been with multiple individuals, in your case, men, you'll see or you'll be able to I guess, for the lack of a better term, click with them, vibe, mesh with them, you know, and some men will be that way, but once you initiate the conversation from the beginning, they'll feel you and you'll feel them, and you'll see what kind of tone you can use with them, because you can't use one tone for everybody.
Okay.
It's not going to work, because some folks, they're so tied up this where you can't be like that with them.
Okay.
Some folks, you kind of have to shoot from the hip, and they can take it and it won't burn. You know what I mean? And I always have a saying where everything isn't for everybody.
Right.
You know, some women are like, hey, you know what? I'm interested. Are you? Do you want commitment? Yes, I do. And people say, hey, you know what? It feels like an interview. Sometimes it's not, because they've already been through interviewees already that were less than them. You know what I mean? And sometimes you have to meet them halfway.
Right.
You know, that's people that where you don't have to be so serious.
Okay.
You know, the conversation can be more calm, more relaxed, even if they're 36 or 40 or 25. Some folks you can be that way. Some folks you don't have to be that way. You know, so it all depends on how the conversation vibes, mesh, and so on.
Okay.
I'll answer the question.
Well, and what we're talking about is, you know, just having a better understanding of really the differences between men and women, how they communicate. One of the things that are brought to my attention here with Dr. John Gray is that men, and I'm speaking in general terms. Remember, when I'm speaking, it's in general terms. It's not specific to, you know, everybody's personality. You're going to have personality into this as well. But I'm just talking a little bit of how genders work. Instead of taking the time to listen in general terms, how a man does this, instead of taking the time to listen and get to know his date, a man talks more about themselves or his theories about life. That's how they think. He thinks this will impress her, and because she keeps asking questions, He thinks this is what she wants. When she does not get a chance to talk, he mistakenly assumes she is asking for his advice and begins offering solutions to her problems or answers to her questions. Without even knowing why or how, he begins to turn her off. That's an unconscious thing, and some of that could be nervousness. I think we had this conversation last week. This came up. Why do men speak about themselves a lot? Why do they talk a lot about themselves? And some of it is nerves, but some of it is just how the brain thinks. You're having a conversation with me, I'm going to tell you about me. But the more that they talk about themselves, the less they're finding out about the other person.
Correct. And I think, well, let me say we're still at stage one.
Yes, we are.
Well, I believe too. Well, I stopped the stage one of going to a dinner date or a lunch date. I don't do dinners and I don't do lunches because it's really, as Dr. Love said, it's almost like you're interviewing because you're sitting across the table from each other, and you know, it's one person will say something, then it's like response, you know, back and forth.
What is that called? Speed dating?
Well, it's not speed dating, but when you're at a lunch date or a dinner date, you're sitting across the table from that person.
Right.
So basically, you're trying to stay engaged in the conversation.
Correct.
As you stated before, then the man wants to talk about, you know, different theories and
Right.
different things. So I said, I don't do dinner dates. I do not do lunch dates. If I'm going to be going out with someone, usually it'll be an active activity, whereas that person can be relaxed.
It's
and we
more
can
relaxing.
They're more relaxed. So
That's
we don't
a great.
feel like
That's a great.
it doesn't
thought.
feel like you're on the spot, whether or not we're going bowling, whether or not we're playing
Not
video
so
games.
formal is
It's
what
not
you're saying.
formal. Yes.
Okay.
I don't do
That's
that.
a great idea. That's a great idea. I'm glad you added that because, you know, going and meeting somebody, even a walk on the beach versus, you know, sitting in
You're
a
always
formal
thinking, you're always
environment.
thinking, did I say
Makes
something
total sense.
stupid?
Yeah.
Or, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
And you're more
You know,
yourself in that
right.
kind of a
So when you're
an
more
environment.
like something that, you know, you try to find out what that person enjoys and you enjoy and you kind of come to a middle ground and say, oh, you know what, I like bowling. Let's go bowling.
That's
or
perfect.
something that's
Well, you're having
active
fun.
or, you know, playing putt-putt golf, whether or not you're going go-kart racing. Let's say I'm an active type of person.
Right.
That's not for everyone, but
Right.
I just see that helps kind of make it less rigid.
Yeah, I can see how that then we're not getting into our gender roles as much and we're just being ourselves, having fun with another person. And we talked a lot about that last week. Sometimes what we do is think, okay, well, you're a man and I'm a woman and I gotta act a certain way and I gotta look a certain way and you know, you get into what the world thinks you're supposed to do sometimes, and it's nerve-wracking when you first meet somebody. It's like, what are we going to talk about? What do we have in common? So this can happen when you're on a date. So I'm glad you brought that up because that would be, if somebody's struggling out there with dating, maybe it's just they're going to the formal environments versus, you know, a more casual environment to meet somebody. Dating is difficult in general just because we really don't understand each other in general, how we each other think. Let's talk a little bit about what women misunderstand about a man sometimes. A woman will make the mistake of demonstrating her interest by asking a man a lot of questions. Again, we had a conversation before I even got to this chapter. Last week we were talking, the guys were asking us, why do you ask so many questions? And so here's the answer. As he talks, she continues to listen patiently. Now he's talking, we're listening patiently. She assumes that if she listens with great interest, he will be more interested in her. Interesting. This is true on Venus, but is not true on Mars. The more a man talks, the more interested he becomes in what he is talking about. And we'll have to ask the guys this. For a man to become more interested in a woman, she needs to do more of the talking and authentically share herself in a positive manner. What do you think, guys? And we're going to get Mr. Dr. Discovery Talent over there involved because I went through all of these stages and now he is past the engagement stage.
I know you're saying
I'd like his input here.
You said positive, and I think what happens to a lot of women on a date, especially if they really like that individual, they'll end up talking about the big no-no, maybe a past
Yeah.
person, because they're thinking, if I tell you this is what I didn't like, then you know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just that's
Yeah.
not the right thing to do.
No, it's not.
It's not the right thing to do. But then, again, just like a job, like your second job is going to be better than your first, and your third, you're more
Right.
experienced. So the more that you date, the more that you understand that there are some things that you do not want to
But here's
speak
what this
about.
is talking about. Women in general think if they're more passive and just listen, the man is going to appreciate that. But here's the thing. What this is saying is the more that they talk about themselves, again, they're less interested in you as a person because they're talking about themselves.
because the
you're
woman is not speaking.
Right. What's gonna generate interest is what is it about me as a person? I need to be more aggressive in that area to say who I am and maybe what might interest that person. And so we'll let Dr. Love speak on that, as well as our discovery talent over there, our Dr. DT. What do you think about this?
I think that when it comes to that, if a woman is talking about herself that long, and I think that she's more interested in herself. She's to me, it could be. I'm not saying it is. It could be maybe.
Well, no. What this is saying is,
Okay.
if you're in a conversation,
Right.
and I'm just sitting here, let's say I'm dating you,
Okay.
and you're talking,
Right.
and you're talking,
Right.
and you're talking,
Right.
and you're talking.
Right.
And in a woman's mind,
Mm-hmm.
she's thinking, well, if I'm just because this is how women are. If I'm going to be patient, we've been taught this for years.
Right.
Be a good girl,
Right.
be patient.
Right.
That you're going to appreciate that. What's going through your head if you're doing all the talking? What is going through your head about the other person?
Through my head.
Yeah, what are you thinking? Are you getting to know that other person?
If I'm talking only and she's listening.
Right. If she's doing all the listening and you're doing all the talking, where are you coming from?
Well, in that case, that has happened to me, where I'm talking and it's just basically saying, hey, this is who I am, this is what I like, don't like, this is what I've experienced, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I do in my downtime, this is, what else, downtime, what I'm looking for, interested in what I like doing, and so on. These are what I'm saying is that the information that I'm giving to her is telling her about myself.
Right.
However, on the opposite end, for me, typically, if a woman is talking about herself, what she likes to do, and things like that, I've learned to be more silent. And when a thought comes up, quickly comes up, I'll grab a pen and a pad, and then I'll write down my thought. And it could be a question or a comment, or it could be a concern. So that way, when she's done saying what she wants to say, I can go back to the comment or question that I wrote down. Then I can tell her what my thought was. Sometimes you can interject as you're having a conversation with the person over the phone and so on. But I've been learning that, hey, you know what? If a woman's talking, I'll let her talk, and then, I'll remain silent. And then the moment a thought comes to my head, I'll grab a pen, paper, I'll write it down. So that way, when she's done with her thought or whatever the case might be, then I can question her or tell her about this or, whatever it might be.
When you've been on a date and you've been attracted to whoever you're with,
Mm-hmm.
what has been going on between two of you? Are you doing more talking, or is she doing more listening, or is it even?
Let me see. What I've experienced is that when I talk to a woman, sometimes it's silent. Not because I'm boring them, but because they're doing something called active listening.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just listening, but they're hearing too, and they're understanding. And I can say this because I would hear total silence, and then I would ask them, "Hey, am I boring you?" And they're like, "No, no, no, I'm listening." And I'm like, "Wow." So that tells me that intellectually, I'm stimulating them.
In general, I would agree with you. I
Yes.
think that I think women are good listeners, but
Right.
here's what's going on with women, just so you know what's going on the other
Okay,
side.
right.
She may say that
She tried to be nice.
she's trying to be nice.
Well,
I'm just letting you know what
Right.
the woman's thinking, okay?
Mhm.
But if she's not talking,
Mhm.
and this is something just to keep in mind,
Mhm.
if she's not doing any talking at all,
Mhm.
at some point she's turned her earphone off. And
And-
you might think she's active listening.
well,
I'm just letting you
in
know
that case, if she says
Mhm.
absolutely nothing, then yes,
Yeah.
that's right. But in my case, there was dialogue.
Some feedback, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
And there was feedback, and they were stimulated.
Good.
Because I wouldn't say that I'm tooting my horn, but I can be actively engaged in back and forth dialogue with a woman. So you won't get you won't get total silence from me unless you're a woman that has nothing to offer, nothing to say, and you can't stimulate me intellectually.
Right.
Then yeah, it's gonna come to a halt and a silence, and hey, can I let you go? Then click.
Yeah.
That's it. That's typically what happens when you don't establish a common ground
Mhm.
with either a man or a woman,
Mhm.
where I would say that they have you can't find no conversations where you guys can talk about, mesh well with, have opposing views, if you will,
Mhm.
things like that.
The only reason that we're even talking about, the differences between the men and women is because it's just to bring an awareness to our dating life that this is really what's going on and what the woman's thinking. Even though you think she's patient, she may also be thinking, when am I ever going to be able to say anything, or when am I important enough to say anything? I mean, all this is going on, and it's unconscious. Dr. DT, I want some input over there.
What was
I
it?
know that you heard everything we said. Stage 1, I know that you've been in stage 1 before.
Me?
Yes.
Stage 1.
With your wife.
Oh,
You were in stage 1 with your wife.
Stage 1.
How did you know that the chemistry was there? Was it like fire at what, like immediately or what?
Not really. When I met her, we went out to eat, and we started talking. The first thing during the conversation, I said to her, I asked her, by the way, tell me, what make you smile? Right
Yes.
there. I asked her the first question, very nice. I didn't come out straight.
Yeah.
We were having lunch and everything, and I asked her, by the way, I'm wondering, what make you smile?
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much she was authentic. She was telling me everything. It's not like, hey, I'm happy with this, and she went so deep.
Yeah, really?
So deep.
What a question. That's a nice question.
And she was very surprised that I asked her that question.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when you ask a woman, what make you smile? She say, oh, I love music. I love this. This is not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we start talking, and I said, it's kind of surprising. So, based on everything you say, so what make you cry?
Mm-hmm.
And she understood what I was saying. Me, I love.
So you're communicating on the same level.
Yes, I
Yeah,
am
immediately.
extremely extremely attractive to smart, to intelligent women.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we're having a conversation, when I knock on the door, I want to make sure somebody's home.
Amen.
For sure. For
So
sure.
I want to make sure it's not when I was out there, when I went out with say on a date, I would want to make sure that you matter. You know what I mean? I don't see anything else. Nothing matter. Nobody else mattered to me while you were there. I make sure that you understood that you are mattered to me. Your time, the time that we spend right now, the time we're spending now, it's mean a lot to me. So at the same time, if you cannot stimulate my mind, okay, very nicely, I'll let you know that as well. You know what I mean? So it was fun.
Oh, good. Well, I think we have completed stage 1. What do you think?
I think so too.
But I like that question that he had for his wife. So I hope everyone's listening, and I hope that everyone will call in at 561-660-7653. We'd love to hear from you. Would love to hear the phone ring right now, because we would love to just talk to you openly and listen to your thoughts in regards to stage 1 dating, attraction. If we don't get a phone call here, we're going to move right into stage 2, uncertainty. In stage 2, we experience a shift from feeling attraction, from feeling uncertain that our partner is right for us. So really, you've gone from totally attracted, like, you know, you're in heaven, okay, over there, and then you go to stage 2, and you get to the feeling of uncertainty. So why is that? It's actually normal, from what Dr. Gray says. This is normal, and you shouldn't be swayed by this. If you become uncertain, it doesn't mean that you are not right, that this person's not right for you. It is normal suddenly to wonder whether you wish to continue dating that person. If you don't understand this stage, you could drift from one partner to another. This is where maybe sometimes people go from one partner to another looking for perfection that maybe doesn't exist. Or because of the uncertainty, they're thinking that I need to find the next person, because why would I be questioning this? But now this is, in this step, this stage, I never thought that uncertainty should even be there. But it is part of the normal process, so that's important to understand. In this stage, a woman could be making a mistake of pursuing a man more than he is pursuing her. And I said, interesting. That explains why women try so hard, because what's happening is that they're uncertain and they are trying harder to make it right. And that's what women do sometimes. I don't know if you've experienced that or not. Have you experienced that, Dr. T? Where somebody's pursuing you more than you're pursuing them?
I love that.
You loved that. You always
Yes.
loved that.
Because I like being pursued.
You do.
Yes.
But
Wow.
women are not supposed to be the pursuers.
Why not? Why not?
Not totally.
Why not?
Not totally. It just.
If I'm worth,
I know you're worth it, but I'm
Yeah.
saying it could come to a point where, okay, if the woman's totally pursuing, then how does she even know that you're interested in her? Because she's the one pursuing you.
If she's, yeah.
let me put it this way: if a woman is pursuing a man, if the man never drop a clue, women are very smart. They try the first time, the second time they realize that they will know if they keep pursuing that man, because it's just like she goes fishing and she knows the fish is swimming around the net. So women are very smart. When you think that you're in control, she make you believe that you're in control, but she's preparing the right time and the right moment to trap you in her field.
So let's pursue up to a certain point, because after that it's stalking. Well, in
Not
general,
quite. Not quite.
no, I'm just saying it's pursue up to a certain point because you're saying like if you like when a woman, well,
Because,
prior.
Do you think, all right, maybe you're the unusual. Is that possible? Is that possible you're the unusual? Or do
No, because
most men like to be pursued by women?
That's right. Because
You do think that?
No, I mean yes. Because
Because this is saying different.
the same way, I understand that. The same way a woman wants to be pursued. If I'm worth enough, if I'm worth something that, if you believe that I am the material of being a husband or a wife, guess what? I want you to work for it. Some women do that to men. Okay, it's a way also to find out so much about that woman as well. Because guess what? When it's pursuing, you have to develop a friendship as well. Even though she dropped crew, you know she's interesting, but there's something that means she's not there yet, or you're not there yet. What you're looking for, you know, is not there. There's something you want to discover in her.
Okay, because my experience has been that most men don't want to be pursued because they want to be the pursuer.
Guess what? I'm sorry, I'm from a different planet. Do you remember that?
Okay.
I'm from a different planet.
Good to hear that, though.
Let's
It's good
see
to hear
what- let's see
that.
what- Dr. Love, what do you say? Do you like women to just constantly, someone to pursue you?
Before you start, I like to say a last thing. I like for her to discover me.
To discover you.
Yes,
Like what makes you smile.
that's right.
That's right.
Being pursued, I wouldn't mind it at all. That means that
This may be out of date.
it could be.
Out of date.
I wouldn't mind being pursued because, you know, as Dr. T said it, you know, that means that I'm doing the right thing as a man. You know, I have my stuff together. I'm presentable. I'm a catch. You know, I'm that BMW that you've always wanted.
No, you need to say you are the Roswell.
The what now?
You are the Roswell that she wants to ride.
All right, let's talk about let's
yes.
talk about what pursued means then, because I'm thinking a woman if she's calling you all the time, that's pursuing. Well, are we talking about two different things?
No,
or what are we?
no.
We're not talking about
talk to me.
calling.
Yeah, let's.
We're not talking about
okay.
calling.
All right, what are we?
That could be like stalking.
Well,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
well. I think let's clarify what pursuing is. What is
This
that?
is what you mean.
Okay.
Like, women from a completely different planet. We don't speak the same language.
No,
Yeah,
that's why
yeah.
we're having this conversation.
So
this is a good conversation to have.
So
This
then-
is where some confusion is.
Right. So what is the pursuit then? If she's not calling, and you said she's pursuing you,
How is
what
she
is she
pursuing you?
doing?
Yeah, what is
Let me
she
explain
doing?
that. And
yeah,
then
that's good.
Okay.
That's good to hear this. How
when
are
it
you
comes
pursuing?
to the pursuit, I think that for me, if a woman if they're constantly calling me up, to me, and we just met, you want attention. You want, to me,
That's been. I have to run.
you want attention, and I need to see, you know.
So
where your
that
head's
can
at.
make you run the other way.
Depending on who you are, because if you want attention without anything to offer, I really can't do anything.
Okay.
Because mentally, I'm far somewhere else where you haven't probably scratched the surface yet. Meaning, you're probably still living. You're probably still, or you're in the initiation of discovery phase as to who you are. You know what I mean? You can you could often tell when someone's in discovery phase based on the first things they say and how their conversation is. You know, because you may speak two different languages. It's like almost like talking to an 18-year-old and you are a 29, 30-year-old. You know,
I know, but I'm lost. I'm telling you, I'm lost.
don't be lost. Ask questions and I have answers.
Give me a definition of what pursuing, because we're still not clear what that means in
Pursued,
your mind.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What
Okay.
does that mean? What is it that you enjoy by being pursued? What is it?
Yes.
What is it that is she doing
Yes.
that's pursuing you? What are you?
Okay.
What's happening?
First time, great question. To me, if a woman pursues me, That means that you're calling me up. You want my time. You want to know how my day went. You are going out of your way to maybe schedule, I wouldn't say picnic, but time to talk with me face to face. You want to see my presence.
So she's saying, let's get together.
Right. And I'm trying to see if I have time to get together. It's not all just her. I need to show interest too. And if I'm that person that's so busy or what have you, I will make time as well.
That's interesting.
Some
so she's
women-
really pursuing a date, is what she's doing.
Not just a
If
date,
she's,
but you
even
too.
if it's a picnic. If it's a picnic,
Yes.
it's a date. It's
Yes.
a form of a date.
Yes, and
Right.
and guess what?
What?
It's time. The more time you spend with her, and the more time she carves out, the more you get to know her.
Right.
Because,
Well, that's true.
as Dr. T said,
Right.
he wants to know what makes you happy. Or,
But whatever happened to the mentality that the man likes the chase? Where is that? Is that like old stuff? Or
Well,
is
I
that pretty
can't-
much old stuff?
I can't speak for all men, but I can speak for myself. When it comes to a woman chasing me, I do want to give her some bread to follow or some bread to eat, because it shows that I have interest in her too. I wouldn't want to chase a woman that's not interested. I've had a woman tell me,
Right.
I would ask a few things. I would try to make time to talk to her, and she would choose her friends over me. I don't have a problem with that, but if I'm interested in you, I call you up, text you, and so on.
At least try to make an alternate date to get together or
Right.
something.
But
Right.
here's the thing. When it comes to some women where, they may be interested in you, and, they're saying that they're going out with their friend, or they don't have time, or whatever, they could very well not be too interested, or, just seeing what's out there, just seeing if you'll bite on the bait, if you will. Things like that, and they could maybe spend time with their friends more than they may want to even get to know you. Which, hey, you know what? It's okay sometimes, because, hey, if she says, hey, you know what? Tonight, I'm going out with some friends. How about, tomorrow? Okay, fine. See where things go. You know what I mean? If she does that, she's giving you, or, she's giving you a time when she's available. Doesn't mean that she's not interested. However, if you catch her eye, then she may say, hey, you know what? Sure. What time today? Some women are like that, some aren't. Everyone has to be treated differently.
This is very interesting that we're hearing this. So it's good for conversation, because when do you get a chance to really ask a guy how they're really thinking about these things? And when you bring, this is good. So stage 1 is a time to meet and get to know a variety of people, where stage 2 is a time to focus on one. This is the time to make a decision to give the relationship a chance. For a man, other women have been seemed more appealing. This is kind of where sometimes when you're in this stage, this is maybe what's going through a man's mind. Men tend to have a visual picture of their perfect mate, because I think that they're more on the physical side, that they visually know what they need, but very rarely is that picture correct. It is a fantasy picture of a man's ideal partner. Not until he begins to experience a real bonding with a woman in a way that makes him feel successful will the power of that picture weaken and be replaced by a real person. What do you think about that statement?
That could be the case.
And I do think a lot of men think on those terms until they get real, and then they bond with somebody that they really think that they have potential with, and they go, okay, they're not the woman in the book, and they're not the woman on the TV. This is a real woman that I can love. And then that perspective changes.
Well, here's the thing with that. For any man or any woman, you have to start with authenticity. Meaning, you need to know what you want from the initiation phase. You need to be real from that point forward. Everything needs to be real as far as what you're looking for. It shouldn't be real for 24 hours and then the next week or so it's different. Because for me, after the honeymoon phase,
Yeah, right.
I'm still the same person, but one thing about me is I don't stop growing. I'm still me, but I don't stop growing. Not physically, but mentally. You have to see if your partner wants that. Growth is important in any relationship.
Right.
Growth involves change. And guess what? Sometimes change is uncomfortable.
Well, yeah. Don't
And
we
guess
know
what?
that?
Sometimes change is good. But the thing is, people are so, some men and some women are so used to being who they are that they don't know how to turn over into a new leaf. You know, so you become a product of who you were for the past how old you've been.
And that happens once we get over here, because in this stage, what happens sometimes is comfortable. Everything gets comfortable. So that kind of happens in that stage.
It does.
There's a comment that's here, and this is kind of goes back to what I think Athea was saying a little earlier. As long as a man has not experienced the reality of making a woman happy, he will hold a fantasy picture. So if a man is always in stage one and never gets over here in any of these other stages, he's always got this fantasy picture of what it's supposed to look like. And that might be also for women.
That's true.
So I like that statement, because if people get stuck in stage one and they're always just in that stage, they never get to develop bonds or relationships beyond that. Then they get stuck in those stages and they just become the dating man, the dating woman.
This is what you call dating Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it could be. What are those movies?
Yeah.
They have.
I mean, that
yeah.
man or that woman
Yeah.
never grew up. It's just
That's right. That's
they
right.
remain in a Peter
Yes.
Peter Pan's land.
Yes.
That's it.
And I think that's what he was trying to
that's when
say.
they're very insecure.
That's right.
And this kind of men, no matter what you do, they'll not be able to. The day that they get a woman pregnant or the woman get really in a relationship, they run away.
Yeah.
They'll run away because they're stuck in a fantasy land, Peter Pan.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons when you meet a vice versa, a man or woman, when you go out and date, just this type of question you need to ask. You need to find out where the person stands.
Right.
By asking what make you smile or what make you
And it's such
cry.
a simple question that
Simple
Claudia
question.
asked. It's simple and
Simple.
goes to the heart. It's simple and
Yeah.
goes to the heart. And really, for women, they really want their heart looked at. That's really what they want.
But it's so confusing for men.
So simple but confusing for
It's so
men.
confusing for men.
I mean that's
But you learned that somewhere. Where did you learn that? How many books did he read?
I would say
You have a caring heart to begin with, though.
yes. The whole thing is I treat people the way I want to be treated. Number one, because there's another one too. I'm a poet. I'm a dreamer. If you're going to step in on my train, you have to be a dreamer also. At the same time, you need to differentiate between dream world and reality.
Right.
While we're dreaming, but at the same time, you need to know when to step out from the dream world, face reality.
Right.
So, meaning that, okay, sometimes when you first meet someone and you're in the dream world, you feel everything is so, but at the same time, you need to wake up, reality check. You need to know who you're going to spend the rest of your life with. Because
That's where you
the
start
whole
building
thing.
trust, and you have to have trust in the other
That's it.
person.
Yeah.
And this is good, because we're going to talk next about when women are uncertain in this stage, what is going through their head, and when a man tends to question whether he wants to pursue a relationship, a woman tends to question where the relationship is going. So they want to know where it's going, and you want to know whether you want to even pursue this relationship. When a woman is uncertain, a woman moves into stage 2 and feels uncertain. She reacts differently than the man. Okay. While a man tends to question whether he wants to pursue the relationship, a woman tends to question where the relationship is going. Quite often, she senses the man pulling away. Now, here's another thing, because I never knew this about you guys. But to find reassurance, she makes one or two common mistakes. Either she starts asking questions about the relationship, or she may try to win him over. Both of these approaches can push him away or even prevent him from feeling confident that he is the right guy for her. Now, why is that? Because she's leaning in and he's pushing away.
It depends how.
Tell me why. I know what the book's gonna. I know the answer in the book, but you tell me what you think.
It depends how to. It depends. First of all, if she skipped, there's one part. If she skip it, that both party, that will create insecurity. You know what I mean? That will create. If you miss this step, that will create insecurity. Women. Go ahead, please.
But if you're in stage 2, you're in the uncertainty stage. You haven't really got to the exclusivity stage. Okay. So you're not 100% sure if she's the one. She's not 100% sure you're the one. But what she's doing is leaning in and almost being more aggressive at this point, because she's feeling uncertain about the relationship.
That's a mistake.
How? That's the mistake that women make.
That's a mistake women make
because you sometimes need to be away from her to want her more.
This is what you call me time.
Yes, that's right.
Me time. Okay. I mean, if
so that's
I
why I
pull
want to
away,
state that. Right.
If I pull away, meaning that, hey, there's something that
you need to have time for.
I have to check. I have to check everything, because when I used to date, I always believed that women will find me I'm always the feedback. I would say, why are you always sure of yourself? What make you think you're all that? It's not that. If my love tank is full, I'm not depending on you to fill me up. I'm looking for someone, a partner, to complement what I have.
This is the biggest mistake that women make. Because he explains, men are like rubber bands. They're going to pursue you, but then they need to step back a bit and evaluate. Take some time for themselves, do whatever, maybe be with friends, whereas women tend to lean more into that relationship, and that's like the biggest mistake that they could. They need to not get upset about it. It's just how you operate. It's like you need to go forward, to go back, to go forward and come back.
When I go inside my cave, I need for you to let me be.
That's right.
When I'm ready, when I come out, I will let you know. I mean, as simple as that.
I understand the me time, the downtime, that whole thing, but then it's inconsistent for women, because if you're pursuing me all the time and pursuing me, and then I turn around and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm in now. I'm gonna start pursuing.
That's
you
when he pulls away.
You pull back, then
it's confusing.
As women, we get very emotional, and you say we're insecure, but it's like you started something, then now it's like it's not.
But here's the thing: he's unconscious of it. He's unconscious of it. We're unconscious of it, and it for us it creates uncertainty. And then we're like, okay, all right. So here's what we need to do: the healthy thing to do, if you want this man that you care about. Let him do what he's going to do. Go off with your friends. Pursue another date if you have to. You're in the uncertainty stage. You don't even know if this guy for sure wants to pursue you into stage 3. Let him go. If he comes back, he will. You got to be on the same page. But this is a very tough stage here. this stage. From what I have read here, it's
Which
a
I
tough
agree with
stage.
you. Which I agree with you, because if the other party,
Yeah.
the love tank is full,
Right.
it will not be a problem. Okay, say, okay, fine. You're not ready. I don't know where it's going. I know
Right.
you need your me time.
Yeah.
So let me get my me time.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't mean when you go to another date and another date,
Right.
you're going to give yourself.
Right.
The only thing
No.
is, the
It
only
just
thing
could be
you
a date for dinner or a walk on the beach. Who knows?
Yeah, because the whole thing you want to make sure that, and you have to ask yourself the simple question. Is
Right.
also, if you get to a point you say, "Hey, I start to like that person,"
Right.
then this is the time you take a long walk down the beach and you have what you call me time conversation. Okay, where do I see myself with that person? What attract me to that person? And also this is the time you review all the time you spend with that person. This is the time you say, there's another thing you can do too. I used to do that a lot. I wrote down, I get 2 sheets of paper.
You're like him.
I wrote
Write
down,
down
no.
Yeah.
I wrote down everything I like about her, the time that we spent together, and everything that I don't like about her, what
bothers you?
what bothers me. And at the same time, next time I have a date, I focus on things that I don't like without getting her, get her upset.
But just
And to
discuss it.
clarify certain things very nicely. It could be a misunderstanding. If like the body language and everything, you ask that. Then after that, you have another me time again to evaluate things, to see. You get into this if, for example, if when you start to really thinking to pursue that person, that's
Now
the
this
whole
is
thing.
the stage before reading this book. I would take it personal, like you were just leaning in, and now that I've decided that I really want to be with you, or I'm trying to put more energy and effort into it, you're going to go running away, and that's
It's
the
not
trouble.
running away. It's
I know,
not running away.
but that's
Retreating.
how women.
I go to
Yeah,
I go
I
to sign
know
my
that.
cave.
I know
my
that.
cave.
I
to say,
know,
Hey,
I know.
is this a cave woman?
I get it.
No,
You know what I mean?
no,
You need
he
time away
retreated.
to process.
He
You need
process.
time to
He
process.
retreated. I'm
But I with you, but I didn't surrender.
so. I'm feeling this is
It's a tough stage to
Okay.
be in.
all of this.
Yeah, it is.
All of this
For
is
women, it is.
this
Maybe
is-
not for you.
This is such
For women,
helpful
it is.
information and everything that's being discussed. But for me, since I'm an analytical person
Yeah.
by nature anyway,
Yeah.
this just complicates it even more. And I'm an overthinker, so it's just it's a lot because I mean
none of us really think about what we're doing.
you
but I
don't think, but now when you step back and you start looking at it,
Yeah.
it does make sense. But then at the same time, it's just, whoa, this is just too much.
all
It's
that
too
this
much.
is just helps you to be more consciously aware. If a man is pulling away, that you don't take it personal. And that if he doesn't come back, it wasn't meant to be anyway.
It does do you a favor.
Yes,
That's
it's
the whole
a favor
thing.
for you, but at the same time, don't, as a woman, try not to take this personal because it's really just something that a guy does. It's what they
There's
do.
another thing.
They're
Let
a
me
rubber
give you a
band.
perfect
They go back
example.
and
True
forth.
story.
This is what happens.
I've been dating a girl. When I was out there, I was dating a very beautiful, which I always date beautiful ladies too. Anyway.
I like it.
But the whole thing is, when she stopped calling, I don't call her.
Yeah.
Because she stopped calling, and once in a blue moon I call, hey, how you doing? Is everything? How you doing? How was your day? I don't take it personal.
Right.
But as time goes by, and next time she called me and we start talking, I discover a few things, and also that gave me a chance to find out what's going on. At the end, I realized that I said, that was a blessing. That was a blessing.
Oh, this is too much.
Well, I think the important thing for a woman, and I think this is the hardest for a woman, and we're women, because this is nothing for these guys, because essentially they're pulling away in this stage. They can be pulling away.
But we don't see right.
But it doesn't mean that she's not the right one. he could be pulling away to just get his thoughts together. Maybe he needs to be with his friends. Maybe he needs to go for a weekend. Doesn't have to be 2 weeks that he's wandered away. But he might stop calling for 2 or 3. This is a common thing I've heard women talk about a lot. Like, all of a sudden everything's going great and then he's disappeared. You can't get a hold of him.
That happens a lot.
They disappear. And so it's important to understand what's going on with them.
And Dr. T, I agree with everything he says, because when he said that was a blessing,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
the time that he thought he wasted
Right.
was he appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because that time
Yeah.
that was lapsed or gone, or what have you,
Yeah.
that time wasn't spent with him.
Yeah.
It was spent with somebody else. You know, and
Well, she's going to do something else.
Right.
She's going to pursue her own interests while you're gone.
Exactly.
That's
And
right.
she
That's
should.
perfect.
And
Exactly.
she should. But there shouldn't be a resentment
No, should
for
not.
it.
now,
Should not.
So if you come back, her attitude shouldn't be, well, where the hell have you been? Off, I mean, like, I'm doing my own thing now because all of a sudden you disappeared. It's what women call they go dark on you.
As a matter of fact,
It's what women call going dark.
Okay.
Now I understand that.
As a matter of fact, I had a friend like that.
Yeah.
And I took some me time. I was, not only that, I was extremely busy.
Yeah.
But I dropped a text
Sure.
once in a blue moon
Sure.
to find, hi, how you doing?
Yeah.
When one day I came back, she said, what happened to you? And me as being, you know what I mean, with an attitude. So I said, me being who I am, I said, guess what? I took a trip. I went inside my cave.
And you explained yourself.
You know, I went inside my
Most
cave.
men are not conscious of
You know what I
that,
mean?
though.
I went inside my cave, which I thought that she would understand.
Yeah.
Immediately, she started arguing. I said, by the way, it's very nice. Can I call you right back?
Yeah.
the same thing happened to me.
So it's good that we're
That's
talking
why-
about it. Because honestly, I did not understand this.
That-
I understand that men went to their cave, like my husband, he needs his quiet time. But on the dating side of things, I never knew that.
No, but look, that's why everything he's saying,
Mm-hmm.
I can't disagree, because I agree with everything he said. Because the text that happened to me already. She said, "What happened to you?" And I said, "What happened to you?" You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
Because we spoke initially prior to that. We're talking. Next thing you know, folks at the door. Can I call you back?
Yeah.
Never got a call back.
Yeah.
And
You did not take it personally.
No. I didn't. No.
But I think it's important when you're going to go into your cave, just to tell a woman, if you do care about a person, that, you need some alone time.
Hold on.
You need
That's
some
no.
alone time.
No, you tried to set us up.
No.
You tried to set
The game
us
don't work
up.
like that.
Just give
It
it
doesn't.
a flow.
The game don't work like that.
All right, so what would be,
The game works.
what would be appropriate to at least let that woman
Okay.
know that you
Go
do
ahead.
care?
Okay.
All right,
And-
let
and
us
Dr.
know. What's the good?
Whenever you
communication?
want to, feel free to jump in.
Yeah.
But the game don't work that way. That right there that you said, that's called common courtesy. And some men and some women that may or may not exist. However, if they go ghost, they're out doing their own thing. Maybe you want the one. Vice versa for men too. They may go into their cave and whatnot. However, when it came to that woman that sent me that text message,
Yeah.
I was wondering what happened to her.
That's cold if you're getting
Right.
a text message. I
Yeah,
think
she
that-
said,
that
"What
in
happened
itself
to you?"
is- yeah.
I said, "What happened to you? I thought
Yeah.
you went on vacation." She's like, "No, I didn't." I said, "Well, what's going on?"
Yeah.
She's so brand new to it. I'm brand new too.
Yeah.
So how about you? Talk to me, because I have time. I'm not 24 hours though, so now
Yeah.
you have less time.
Yeah.
And one thing that I never do is I never blow up a woman's phone.
Yeah.
If I'm interested, I'll call you I'll call you once, maybe twice. It's me showing interest in you.
Yeah.
The moment you lift your finger, I'll lift mine. If you don't lift one, I don't lift none. It's not.
It's really different, though. I mean, what you guys are saying to us, what I would really expect. I'm so glad I've studied this.
It's not.
I'm telling you, I'm clueless. I was married for 35 years, and to hear all this is amazing. To even think this is what you're thinking, and this is what we're thinking. No wonder that there's a discord going on between people getting to. I mean, they probably jump. Most people go from stage 1 to stage 3
Yeah,
to
but
get
see,
stage 2.
you can't do A, B, C. I mean, you can't go from A to C. You have to go from A to B, C, D, and so on.
It does happen that way. I guess we're not conscious of it, but so at least when we know a band has, stepped away for 2 or 3 days or whatever it is, that a woman just, if you really are smart, don't take it personal.
Well, when we step out for a few days, that doesn't mean we're not interested.
Right.
We might step out and like couple 2 or 3 days to find out, okay, let's see if she's really interested.
Right.
That's true too.
Let's see what she has.
True.
Let me see. I mean, because you don't jump in like that. You.
But are you saying that if she calls you, that's a good thing?
If she call, let's say 3 days you don't see me, you call me. Okay, we'll talk. We say hi, how you doing?
Right.
And now, if you say, hey, what's going on? Then I'll tell you, listen, sorry if I haven't called. This is. I'll give you an explanation.
Okay.
Truth one. I'm not. I'm a straightforward person.
Right.
That's one of the reasons I tell people, if you can't
so it's
handle.
It's at that time that you would say, this is why I have been busy or whatever.
Yeah. But I always say to people, listen, if you don't have the courage to handle the answer, don't ask me the question.
But now, do you remember going through this with your wife? Do you remember this stage?
My wife, after I met her, she was working part-time, plus she goes to school full-time. We talk. She called me a lot as well, but the whole thing, the conversation is always something new.
It was always something new,
to talk about. And because as a writer and poet, she loves poetry. She always asking me.
Connection.
You know, I mean, she always she used to ask me do you have any new poems? Can you read me the new things? You know, what I mean, yeah, and also being busy. If I didn't call her for a couple of days, never bothered her.
Was there an unspoken step there that you went to exclusivity, like stage 3? When you didn't call her for a couple of days, were you in the exclusive stage or the uncertain stage?
I can answer that.
For me,
when she was, maybe calling you, and maybe you were disappeared for 2 or 3 days.
I think that.
What stage were you at? Because when you're in this stage right here, this is where it could go one way or the other, and this is like the crucial stage.
One thing I can tell you,
gonna go here.
When it's come to her, while we've been talking, is we both knew what we wanted.
You both knew you wanted to be exclusive.
We both knew this is, they say, this is what I want, and also this is the time frame.
Okay.
This is the time frame, and I was straightforward with her, and we were straightforward. We're telling each other.
You might never even went through that stage.
I did.
You did go through that
I
stage.
Did. I did. I
remember
did.
seeing that.
Yeah, I did. But the whole the communication was really good. That's
probably why you did so well with getting through that stage.
Because the whole thing is, I asked, besides asking her these 2 little simple questions, I tell her that, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? And she was very clear. She said, this is what I would like to see. This is what I want. And it seemed like someone pretty much told her everything that I wanted.
Maybe somebody did.
Maybe, but everyone, nobody.
It seemed you were on the same page either way.
Yes, no one that she knew me. Vice versa, we didn't know each other.
So once you had that conversation, you knew you were going to end up being exclusive with her.
I tested her a few times
Yeah.
first.
Mm-hmm.
I tested her for a few times before we get there, and yeah, it was a ball of fire, and also gasoline was there mixed together. Boom! It was a bomb. That's it.
It ignited.
It's
And you know
ignited.
something? You know something?
I mean, I'm honest.
I know you are.
Some women that you test like that, that'll be too much for them.
Yeah.
Because you know what?
Yeah, but then you know.
Yeah, but yeah, because some women don't know what it means when a man is authentic. Nowadays, it's they're so used to what they're used to, they don't know what this word's called.
And
Everyone knows it.
And also, there's something you find them would say, I'm looking for a man who has the courage enough to tell me what he wants. When someone when you meet that person, say, holy cow,
Yeah.
this is for
That's
real.
what
I better get
It's
out.
going down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
and you know, the reason why I say that is because to me, some women are so oblivious to this word. It's called work. You know,
In a relationship.
yes, in a relationship, and to know what you really want before you even get to the 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd stages. You have to ask yourself, really, what is that you want? You know, what is it that you're willing to do? You know, are you under construction? I say these things.
We're
because-
all under construction
Yes.
for a lifetime, just so you know.
Yes,
that.
yes, yes. No, but
None of us
seriously.
reach the perfection stage.
No, it's not, no. It has nothing to do with being perfect. Everyone will be construction for the rest of their lives. No person is perfect.
Right.
Reason why I say that.
But can you grow together? That's the important thing. Can you grow together?
Good question.
Yeah.
Here's the answer. Do you want to go together? That's what you have to ask
And do you
yourself.
care enough to grow together?
Yes, that's where the work
gotta be
starts.
Bottom line.
That's the commitment,
Yeah.
or not the commitment, but the
yeah, it
commencement
is.
stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's why
Absolutely.
when he says that, then yeah, it's true.
Althea, we hate to lose you. I know
Lady
that
style.
Lady Style
Thank you
has
very
to
much.
leave. But at this time, I would like to also bring it back to Global Lovers Connection. We'd love to hear you. Call us at 561-660-7653. If you have a talent that you would like to be part of Discovery Talent, Dr. DT would love to have you join his website. There's many musicians. There are all different types of talents in his company. You can go to usdiscoverytalentradio.com. Let's see here. So we've gone through stage 1 and stage 2. That was work.
Yeah.
But it was good to talk about some of the things that aren't clear for men and women. And it's a really good conversation. Actually, it would be fun to have a conversation for men and women, a group of men and women to be in the same room to hear the opinions.
That
Wouldn't that
would
be
be
cool?
a controversial evening.
Oh my gosh, Dr. DT, we might have to do something like that. He loves controversy.
Yep. And
He loves hearing the different opinions of people.
and you'll get a lot of intellect.
I know. All right, so are we ready to move into stage 3?
We sure are.
All right. We are in stage 3, exclusivity. If you can say that right. Say that 3 times in a row.
Exclusivity.
All right,
Yes.
we're ready to move forward.
Hello.
In this stage, we feel the desire to date a person exclusively. We want to relax and have more time to share with our partner. We want an opportunity to give and receive love in a special relationship without competition. Without competition.
All right.
You've said, I am doing this with you. All the energy that went into looking for the right person goes into creating a mutually loving and romantic relationship. In this stage, we are building a foundation that allows us to open our hearts and truly love someone. However, caution is at this stage because in this stage, you need to be careful to not becoming too comfortable. And you could take each other for granted. Don't stop doing the little things that make your partner feel special. So it's an exciting step that you've taken. Now you've said, I want to just be with you. And the love begins, right?
Sure does.
Any comments in this before I begin some of the ways that we
exclusivity.
think, men and women?
Exclusivity is a stage where you have to decide if you are a one man's woman or a one woman's man, vice versa. You have to see if this is the person that you want to be exclusive with. I know for myself, when I'm committed to one person, I'm committed to one person, and that's that. There is no in-betweens, you know, or anything like that.
Right.
Also, exclusivity would also entail, to me, the priority of your partner, because you might spend more time with her. I mean, you might spend more time with somebody else, you know, that's not your partner, with your friends hanging out and so on. But it's important to me to be with your partner, make her feel the only one, or make her feel that she is the one and the only one, because when you're exclusive with her, it's just her, and you make her feel important. That's very important, because they in turn feel wanted. When you want to be with that partner and that partner only, you carve out a lot of time. You make them feel wanted. You make them feel loved. You make them feel cared for, and they feel so important. Where you make them feel like they're the king or queen that you desire to be with. You know, exclusiveness is something that you have to want, and you build so much.
This is this time too where
If I could stop you guys,
yes.
I have Mark said sometimes men need time alone.
True.
And so I thought I'm not the only one.
Yes.
I realize that men need his
And
time.
as a
me
woman,
time.
I'm learning that. I understand that men need time alone. Women do too. But what's really great to understand is to hear you guys talk, to say, we're not running away necessarily. We're just taking time for us to recoup and rethink whether you are the person that we want to spend more time with or not.
Right.
But at the same time, as a woman, we're leaning into you, thinking, where did you go?
But earlier you said
That's
something.
in the uncertainty stage, but now we're in the exclusive stage.
I like to say something you say earlier. That's when I said that you try to set us up. When the woman, you say to when she said, "We're going," you have to be honest with her.
Yes.
You often tell her that I want some time alone.
Yes.
When
That's
you're
when we have to
dating-
respect that.
No. When you're dating with women, you tell her that I want some time alone. Automatically, she will translate that.
That's
You're breaking
because-
up with me.
Well, that's because the world. Well, here's the thing. That's because the world has told her that, that's the words you're going to hear when he wants to break up with you, and he's going to run away and you're never going to see him again. That's what the world tells, because that's what we hear. But really, the truth is it's how you guys operate. You are like an elastic. You get close and then you pull away. You get close and then you pull away. That's how you know whether you are going to be exclusive with that person or not. Whereas a woman doesn't do the elastic. They have waves of emotions. We're going to get into that a little. We have waves of emotions.
God.
And when we get to the bottom, what we need is the love and support from somebody that loves us. But now we're talking about the exclusive stage. And I was mentioning, you're talking about being alone with that person and making them feel so important. Friendships are important, but that's when friendships have to come as a couple more so than the alone time with friends. Would you agree?
Yes and no. Yes, because
You're doing more things with couples, dating,
I mean, you
rather
can have,
than you're going off with your friends and she's going off with her friends. Because, there's only so much time in a day.
Yes, but here's how I look at it. You can have friends and, hang out with them, talk, chop it up. On the other hand, you could have your mate be your friend too. The closeness has to be there. The diversification and communication has to be there.
So the development of a best friend is
Yes,
developing. Okay.
It has to be there because you need to know if you can joke with your partner, if they'll take, if you guys can laugh at the jokes, you know what I mean, and laugh at each other. Because mind you,
have a sense of humor about some tough things.
yeah, because when it comes to these 5 stages, these are 5 stages that are educational stages. You're dissecting one another's brains. That's what it really is. And a lot of us, more often than not, we don't do that. It's too much work. It's too much work. Oh, it's too much. It's not too much work. Because you know why? Again, your diploma takes 12 years, not 6. It takes 12.
That's right.
It will never, ever in your life take 6. It takes 12. So in a relationship, I'm saying these things because exclusivity, it involves so much. You have to want that deepness with your partner. You have to know your partner. Know how they take like a clock you buy from Walmart. Know their heart. Know their wants and needs.
So here I want to say something. When the pursuit is over, because now you're exclusive, the pursuit is over.
Right.
Dr. Gray says, a man may do everything to win a woman over, but once he has passed the finish line, he turns off the engine, parks his car, and celebrates. In stage 3 exclusively, he mistakenly assumes the pursuit is over. Somebody needs to tell him the race is not over. And that some of what you're saying is what I'm saying. He has not only shifted into 3rd gear, he still hasn't reached to his top speed. He still has his 4th and 5th gears. To move beyond 3rd gear, he needs to focus on being the best partner he can be and continue to lead the relationship.
I can't disagree with none of that.
Yeah, so you like what he said.
It's true.
At the same time, he's also saying, be cautious because everybody gets comfortable in exclusivity.
Well, and again, it all goes back to authenticity from the beginning. You have to ask yourself, do I want this? You have to ask yourself, are you ready? You have to ask yourself, are you ready to love and to be loved on? Are you ready to go to war? Do you have the gun, the ammo? Are you properly trained? Are you ready to take a bullet for the country? You have to ask yourself that. It's the same exact thing. It's no different. That's why when we talk about these things, you have to go from the beginning of it. If you never go, it's like saying, if you could do the small stuff, you could do the big stuff. It's true.
Yeah.
It's very, very true. You have to ask yourself if you're ready to be with somebody. Sometimes that person that wants to be with you is not ready to be with somebody else.
Well, and sometimes we're with people for the wrong reasons, or if, somebody doesn't want to be alone, but that's not. Let's face it, we're all at different stages in our life.
Right.
And you've come across, I'm sure, a few people that think they want to be at that stage, but yet don't know that.
Yes.
Being alone is just fine. You've got to be okay with yourself first.
Oh, yeah.
But wanting to be with a person because you choose to is a whole different feeling than having the need to have to be with somebody all the time.
Right, that's different
Right,
things.
right.
Exactly.
And you're going to love this next statement because
will.
remember how bad I was about saying, what do you mean you're going to have an interview? You mean to tell me you're going to sit there and you're going to interview me? And of course, in this stage,
So now you want to be interviewed.
so now I'm learning.
Uh-huh.
Men may talk a lot in the beginning of a relationship because, in a sense, they are on a job interview. I went, what? When you ever said that a job interview, you're going to interview? Oh, you are cold, is all I could think. They are giving their data verbal resume of who they are by sharing what they feel and think and value. Once a man gets the job and he is exclusive, a shift takes place because there's no longer any reason to keep talking. So, once you've gotten past the interview and you want to pursue her, I'm just going to have to keep that in mind. But that's not where women are coming from. They're not wanting to be interviewed. But for you, it's important to interview.
Okay.
And being the man.
Let me comment on that.
Apparently.
Even if a woman that doesn't want that, that's where she'll take her fall at.
Why is that?
She has no choice.
That too, but she's missing the pieces. She's missing the pieces to the puzzle. Because when you don't want to hear it, that's where you'll fall at. Because the information that's being presented to you, you have to know it. You have to hear it.
Well,
because
it's from where you come from doesn't mean that it always works for the woman, though.
Well,
Just
okay.
keep that in mind. I understand
Yes.
that's where your thought process is now.
But she has to see. That's where her past will trouble her current.
You just got to be careful because I might not get to stage uncertainty to exclusive with you because of the interview process I got to go through. The resume I got to provide. Oh my God.
No, see, that's where a lot of women that haven't been with certain men won't get what I'm saying. Because it's not necessarily an interview. She may take it that way. Because if I'm saying, hey, you know what? I want a good woman. I want a ride or die woman.
Yeah, but that's not an interview. That's saying what you're looking for.
Well, yes, but then it carries on to, hey, you know what? I'm looking for a great woman. You know, do you have any kids? Have you been locked up before? You know what I'm going to lie? But these are true questions.
Yeah, well, I know, and some people have.
But it won't necessarily go that way.
But you might as well know now. I get it.
But it's going to go smooth like that. But not every woman.
Well, hopefully in the exclusive stage, you're not finding that out. Yeah. You found that out. You found that in the interview process.
I hope you do. I hope so.
All right, let's see.
It's not like after you say you do, you find that.
You still got a long way to go. You're only in stage 3 yet.
Yeah, of course.
We haven't got to the engagement
but
stage yet.
Some people start from stage 1
Yeah.
and they find themselves to stage 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they go, what happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
So.
A woman's greatest challenge in this stage. In stage 3, a woman's greatest challenge is to practice the art of asking for support, because we tend to think that if we need something that you should automatically know. That's sometimes what happens to women.
What do
Women
you
are
mean
taught to be
support? What kind of
desirable,
support?
not to desire. In this stage, a woman must break through this limiting condition to discover that she is actually more desirable when she expresses her desires. In other words, women are very, they don't like, and maybe, I know for myself sometimes, I tend to do more in a relationship sometimes.
You're a giver.
Yeah, I'm a giver, so I can be taken advantage of very easily. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think in general, women tend to be givers. And that doesn't mean that a man doesn't give. Please don't take it that way.
No, I didn't.
But a woman becomes more attractive when a man clearly knows what she wants. He can then feel confident in that he can fulfill her. If she just waits for him to know the right thing, she may be waiting her whole life. In other words, you need to tell him what you want.
That's very true.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's what
and
women sometimes don't say what we want. We just assume you should know.
And you shouldn't do that
See?
because that's asking for something to just quote unquote fall in your lap. Sometimes it don't work like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Even though you know that you're a good woman, how do I know that? I haven't seen it before.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Your looks may be the primary and the only thing that's working for you.
Mm-hmm.
But what about what you have upstairs mentally?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
When you knock on the door, is there someone to answer?
Yeah.
Well, I think if you got to the exclusive stage, you probably figured that out. So you're not going to go exclusive with somebody that doesn't have something upstairs.
Exactly. You should
You haven't
never
got to
skip
this
the
stage.
steps.
But what this is saying is because in this stage you get comfortable,
You should get comfortable. I mean,
Well,
you can.
it
but
happens just because life happens. That's reality. Life does happen. People get busy and they forget that, the flower, or they forget,
I
the
don't.
woman can do the same thing. And man and woman, you just get busy with life. It just happens.
That's true, but don't forget to be cognizant of what's going on. You know, what you signed up for, why you signed up for, what attracted you to begin with. Well, let me scratch that. More often than not, both parties forget what the reason was they signed up for. You know, why. You know, and the work's not done yet. You know, there's always growth that can take place. You know, you're always under construction because you always have to keep it exciting and full of life and full of energy. That's when you keep a partner engaged, attentive. What's going on?
But again, the relationship will get better. And I'm speaking from women because women tend to not communicate
Both?
what their needs are as much as they should.
Both.
Because it's they go in this mindset of being unspoken. He should just know. Well, no, how is he supposed to know if you don't tell him? If you don't sit down and talk about it.
That's true.
Now, you don't want to approach a man and say, let's sit down and just talk, because that word, that means it gets them going. They don't even want to talk then, because if they know that we got to have a talk, then there's something wrong.
I think that's
it's how you say it.
It's right.
Right.
It's so much how you say it, because I could be taken like, okay, hey, you know what? We need to talk.
But here's another assumption. A man automatically assumes that a woman is not asking for help. She must be getting enough. In other words, once you get to this stage, you're exclusive, you're doing for each other. But if I'm not telling you, I'm not getting enough from you, then you're assuming I'm fine, right? That's probably a true statement.
If you're not getting enough from me and you're telling me that?
No. A man automatically assumes that when a woman is not asking for help, in other words, sometimes you get into a relationship, there's things around the house that have to get done, there's 1,000 things going on in your relationship, and she's doing, and this is stuff that women do.
So in other words, you're trying to say that in her mind, she thinks that you have a crystal ball as a man.
Right.
You have a crystal ball, so you know what.
Can you see I'm going out of my mind here, trying to do 1,000 things, and maybe they're I don't know, they've got a function they have to put together, and she needs help, but she's not speaking what she needs him to help with. So there's unspoken. It's something that
unspoken
women do.
Language.
They just do, and then they crash. That's what they do.
That's probably...
And we end
It's
up
what
being
women
responsible
do.
for that.
So the statement is correct. A man automatically will assume when a woman is not asking for help, she must be fine.
Around the house, I would say there's certain thing that, okay, if something is broken, I know it's my job to fix it. Being a father and also being, your job is a father, handyman, that's a main job to me. That's a main job.
Yeah.
You don't wait for, if this thing doesn't work, you don't wait for the woman to tell you that. You know, automatically that's things that you need to do. You know what I mean?
But you're talking about a healthy partnership. Sometimes
Yes.
it goes a little off balance because life happens,
That's correct.
right? And one might be doing more one time and then the other, and then they need help. But what tends to happen is, and this is just how women go on automatic because they multitask a lot, more so than men. They multitask a lot, and then they crash.
That's because, to me, because a lot of women nowadays, they feel that they have to wear the man hat and the woman hat based on their prior relationships. Because some men, and again, I always say it's true, some men grow up late. Some women grow up late.
Yeah.
Some women don't want to cook. Some women don't want to clean. Some men don't want to be men. Some men become men
absolutely.
later.
Then you've got it. Then it's off balance.
Yes.
This is what you call
But
the
even
man
then-
stock and the Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, maybe because
And
he's playing.
then even then, the woman has to stop doing so much and somehow find a way to communicate what she needs, or
Yes.
get rid of.
You
the
can get rid of the
situation.
person, you know, but even for some women that don't communicate so much, to me, there's a reason why.
Yeah.
You know,
There's a
sometimes-
past history.
yeah, you know, it's behavior. You know, Dale Bronner, he's a pastor, and he says that sometimes, you know, you date faces, their family, their attitude, the communication, you know, their expertise, what they've been through, you know, and their skill set. It's the acronym of the person that you're with. You know, some women say, I don't talk. I don't think so. I think that
There might be a
used to-
tendency you're more quiet, but if you don't
yeah, but
not
you're used
talk.
to who you're being used
Yeah.
to,
Must have
and
something
you've never
to
changed.
talk
Yes.
about as
Right.
well.
You know what I mean? So something hasn't sparked your thinker to even spark you to open up your mouth. You know? It's
Yeah.
a multitude of things.
And
Well,
that-
there is one thing why men do resist a woman's request, and I know you're both going to agree with this one.
Mm.
At this point, a man will resist her request. His resistance is also misunderstood. It is not that he's resisting the giving help. He's resisting her resentful attitude.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And so what
Yeah.
happens is if a woman doesn't say what they need and ask for what they need, they build this attitude.
Yeah,
and this
like
attitude is what you resist.
you're supposed to know sometimes.
Exactly.
Or
Yeah.
sometimes I'll know, or sometimes, you know, they'll get upset. I had somebody, she gave me a reaction as if she was accustomed to this doing that she did, and she got upset with me, and I said, oh my God, what did I do now? So she carried this chip on her shoulder from one point to another point, and she said to me, quote, I'm used to this. And I said, you're used to this?
That she's
I'm like,
speaking
it's not
probably
me.
truth. It
It's
was
somebody
the
This
past.
is what you call
The past.
she's carrying the baggage.
It's a behavior she's
Right.
used to.
She got it back from
Yeah.
Walmart and threw her garbage in it and gave it to me. I said, no,
Yeah.
you can throw it away in the dumpster outside.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
So I told her that I don't do this. I communicate. Communicate is what I know how to do, or I write things down. If it's bothering you, let's communicate. Let's go to a closed environment so we could talk
about
and
it.
hash it out. That's what
Right.
I'm used to. She wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
She's used to going to the store, buying a Coke can, let it drop, and then I'll spill it all over your face. I said, I can't do that.
Yeah. That was an important conversation you had with her.
Of course.
That's very
That's called
good.
communication. That's all.
But this is the stuff that you get into with exclusivity.
Yes.
So at least we are learning what are the downfalls of how women think and what are the downfalls of how men think. and how is it that we can get to that next stage?
I think it's too much assumption, too much pride, too much assumption, pride, and too much of too much of unresolved issues, and too much of a lack of communication. Too much of that. Once you fix these problems, things will be much better, because once you know what you want from the beginning, everything will be so smooth, like butter to a steak, or like a butcher knife to a steak.
Yeah, and they say, it's some of the conversations that you have are really hard sometimes. My girlfriend, who I think she was married twice, her first marriage failed because there was another woman that came in the picture. So the second time that she got married or started dating, she obviously wanted to do things God's way, first of all. And they were both on the same page with that. And they started talking and went to counseling through the church and had to really talk about some of the things that could pop up in the relationship because of how they saw things differently. Gave them an opportunity to talk about things that they would never have talked about or even thought about. Did you go through that process or not? I don't know if you even had to. But for her, it was important to do it God's way, and they both wanted to work through the process. And I just love to hear her talk, because she would say things like, I never really thought about it. It gave us a chance to talk about it without fighting about it.
And see what she did?
You know what I'm saying?
Her magical word was work.
Right.
That was part of communication.
And it's hard to talk about certain things, or the past, or family, or whatever it may be, that is going to pop up in that relationship somewhere.
And that's the work. But it goes from the attraction phase to the uncertainty phase.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have skipped that step.
Yeah.
That's why I say you have to work. Once you go from stage 1 to stage 2, that's where the real work begins.
Well, they were working on the fact of they were at the engagement stage.
Well,
when
she
they went
skipped
to,
all other 4 stages.
Well, no, not really.
Okay.
They went through this. But once they got to the engagement stage, she wasn't going to get into the marriage stage until they really, that they really wanted to get everything on the table, because there was a marriage before that.
That's where the uncertainty stage is at. Those things should be talked about.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, it's an evolution. It's a process.
I know, because
God, you could scare each other if you talked about everything.
No. Everything should be talked about, but within increments of time.
Right.
The marriage stage, that's till death do us part.
Right.
That's not me saying that I'm married. It's saying till death do us part. And when you say that, that's exactly what it is.
Right.
It's nothing else. Now, when you go from stage 1, which is attraction, it's exactly what that is. Stage 2 is uncertainty. That's where that stage, you need to let that stage be like,
simmer like on the stove, huh?
No, but more like, walks in the park.
I can hear it without.
No, it's you being authentic with your partner. You have to. It's mandatory. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
But not in one sitting.
But you're still in the stage of trying to please each other too, because you are uncertain of that other person.
And you have to go through multiple of them.
Right.
Break the ice.
Right.
Talk with one another.
Right.
Does it involve exclusivity? Yes.
Yeah.
But you still getting to know them.
But I think we've gotten to actually stage 4 intimacy. How are we doing for time? We're getting there. We're moving forward. All right. So stage 4. Okay. In stage 4, we begin to experience real intimacy. We feel relaxed enough to get our guards down and share ourselves more deeply. In this stage, we experience the best of ourselves and our partner, while at the same time deal with the challenge of dealing with our less than best side. This is where you're really going to say the truth.
Wait.
Yes, when you get
Even
to
in
the
stage
intimate,
3.
Yeah. So
we're not telling the
exclusive.
truth.
Well, no, stage 3, yes, you're telling the truth, but you're exclusive, but you just went from uncertain to exclusive.
See,
So-
this is where it's different. Me,
Well,
by the time we reach stage 3, you'll know who I am.
well, that's good.
You'll know who I am.
That's
You'll know
good.
where I stand, what I stand for, and you know where I want to go.
But once we get to intimacy, men and women do intimacy very different too. So, again, this is where the rubber band comes in again.
That's what it rubber meets the road,
Wait,
baby.
yeah, you probably
They
relate
go
because
from
again,
attraction to stage 4 right
yeah,
away.
because then you pull back a little bit because now we're really going to get intimate, and then once those feelings and emotions start surfacing, you guys
You
tend to
got
want to
pull
pull back a
back.
little bit
Yeah,
more.
but you
And then
can't
move
skip
forward,
that
and then
step.
pull back. Now that doesn't mean you're running off for 2 weeks. It just means you might go to your cave a little more. That's what it means. Anyway, in stage 4, we feel a chemistry with our partner on all 4 levels. This is where you get into the spiritual, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Because in exclusive, you just kind of decided we're going to be exclusive, and you're working through stuff. And now you're getting to all the levels of intimacy, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. You were really there in stage 3.
And also, there's something else. If you and your partner, if you are not in the same page,
Right.
your relationship will
doesn't-
crumble. No matter what, it doesn't matter about finance or anything. If spiritually you're not in the same page,
Yep.
doesn't matter what happened, your relationship will fail, because the spirituality, it's pretty much is what bounds both of you
Yeah.
together. If bad storm comes, you have to have a rock to fall to stand, because if, for example, that's why they say you have to be careful. You have to let the person know what you like. That's why that question come up. What make you smile and what make you cry? With that, if the person understand, the level of intimacy with spirit in the spiritual level, and at the same time, you will know what really. If the person has an attitude, it will come out when you ask these 2 simple questions. So you'll know from at the beginning, if it's something that, if it's a relationship you want to follow, you want to go through. And also, by asking, this is what I call the foundation of a relationship, these 2 little simple questions. You'll know if, number 1, if she's an intelligent woman,
Right.
if she's her spirituality, you'll know. And also you find out a lot about how she cares for her mother and her father, her
Family.
sister. If she disrespect her sister, she'll disrespect your sister. If she disrespect her mother and her father, she's not going to spare your own mother and your own father. Do you want to spend your life with someone like that? If she doesn't care for her own sibling, will she care for yours?
Right.
That's the whole thing. And also by asking questions too, you need to find out how she take care of herself. Okay? Based what kind of food she eat. But when you marry, technically, her body become yours and your body become hers. So if she doesn't take care of her body, guess what? She abuse you as well. Because when she gets sick, it's your responsibility after you say you do. So these 2 little questions, people take it very light. But these 2 little questions from the get-go, that's covered from stage 1 to all the way stage 4. If you do your homework perfectly.
It is about the homework. It is, a process. And see, when you think about it, where do you learn this stuff, really? When you were younger, where did you...
Life teaches you.
I don't know.
The hormones were flying. That's all I remember. Hormones, the guys and the girls go, oh my gosh. You just, when you're younger, but when you get in your 30s, you should be thinking about this earlier, but where is this all taught?
As a matter of
It's
fact,
not taught
let me be-
anywhere.
let me be honest with you. When I
It
on
should
my
be taught
early
somewhere.
20s, early, even 19, the feedback I used to get from people, they saying that I'm acting way beyond my age.
Really.
I mean, the question I used to ask people, some women find it, who do you think you are? You think you're all that? When they start asking questions.
They
You know
actually
what I
say
mean?
that to you?
Oh yeah. What do
Really?
you think? Who do you think? What do you think? Who do you think you are? You think you're all that? You think that you're better than me? I said, excuse me, I asked you a simple question. I asked you a simple question. If you
Oh
give
my
me
God.
if you give me an answer,
Yeah.
I mean that is not what I'm looking for.
Next.
That's it. I'm sorry. Because I know from a very young age what I want,
Yeah.
what I'm looking for.
But you were asking the
And-
probably good questions when you were younger. Would you
Yes,
agree?
yes.
I mean,
And also there's another
this
thing.
is-
I was raised by the best.
yeah.
I was raised by a single mother
Right.
who raised me without a father.
Yeah.
So I mean, I mean, I grew up around
That was a
female.
tough job for your mom.
You know?
Let's face it. She had
So-
to be mom and dad.
That's what I'm saying.
Tough.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many single
Yeah.
women out there. It's very. Last night I did a show here. They have to be extremely careful. Yes, you're single. Yes, you want love. You need love. But you have to be careful who you brought to your kids. What man, what partner you bring to your house to introduce to your kid.
Right.
So all these things they have to be careful. And I met in the past. I dated single women, a single mother. And when I see, for example, right there when we start dating, you brought me home to meet your daughter. Immediately, that's a no to me.
Yeah.
Right there, I pull away.
Well,
Yeah,
and
you know,
you don't want
you're not
to be
protecting your
sharing every
child.
man you have a conversation
Yeah.
with your child. I mean, seriously.
So,
Yeah, and I know my sister for the second time around. She wouldn't, unless she was totally exclusive with somebody, she wouldn't even bring them around the house.
that's it.
And,
So,
and that's just, she said, I'm not introducing her to everybody because
It's
she,
create
as a
confusion.
child, they get attached to people.
yeah, create
And you know,
confusion.
yeah,
also.
we got the gifts coming and everything, and then they're gone. You know,
Resentment as well.
Exactly. But in this stage, physical chemistry creates desire and arousal. Emotional chemistry creates affection, caring, and trust. Mental chemistry creates interest and receptivity. And spiritual chemistry opens our hearts, creating love and appreciation and respect. When we are turned on to a partner on all four levels, we are ready to move into stage 4. So that's where we're at. Let's see, what are the pitfalls?
Do
Go
you
ahead.
want to keep going or finish it next Thursday?
Yeah, we can do that. Why don't we do that? Because the conversations are so deep, let's do that.
Yes.
So let's begin next week again with stage 4 intimacy.
Next Thursday from 8 to 10.
Yes.
It's heating up, folks.
Well, listen, I'm seeing so many people on Facebook tunes in. So,
Oh, can we have here's a few of the comments?
Nobody, I believe they just sit there
Okay.
absorbing, watching
Tonight, okay.
tonight. So,
Okay.
remember,
Could be
for
late
next, what do you have in your...
Well,
in
we're
your
gonna
bag
do
for
this
next
and then, actually, I was thinking, and I don't know if it's next week that we should bring it into it, doing, what, limiting beliefs, how it affects our lives.
Okay, I mean, what about, we're not done with stage 4 yet?
Oh, no, we're gonna finish this.
Stage 4,
But
and the
for-
first segment.
Right, and because there's only 2 more stages left.
So that's mean from stage 4, we'll do it from 8 to 9.
Okay,
And at 9 o'clock, we do the second one.
okay.
So, what do you think, guys, on Facebook? And I hope and I'm looking forward to see you guys joining again next Thursday, God willing, from 8 to 10. And if you have any questions, please prepare your questions. And I believe I don't Mother Nature, aka she's a life coach.
Uh-huh.
She's well prepared to answer any question that you may have. She's a life coach. She's a life coach, relationship life coach.
Right.
So she's the expert. She'll be more than happy to guide you. If you're in a relationship that you find yourself, you skip from stage one, you skip from start stage 1 to stage 3 or stage 4, and you struggle, you have a relationship, you are struggling in your relationship, feel free, take this number down. As a matter of fact, I'm going to post it during the show. You can call 561-660-7653. You can ask any question you want during the show. She's a life coach, licensed life coach, relationship
Certified.
certified.
You don't have to be licensed.
Certified relationship life coach. She'll be more than happy to guide you, to work with you. So and again, I'll see you next Thursday from 8 to 10. The first segment, we're going to cover stage 4, and also after that, stage 5, stage 4, stage 5. We'll finish with this chapter, close it, and we'll start with the next chapter, which is.
I still need to do some research on this, but our limiting beliefs, I learned in coaching school, we all have limiting beliefs that stop us from succeeding in things that we want to do in our lives, and we do need to take a look at some of the limiting beliefs that hold us back in succeeding, whether it is a relationship, it could be a career, could be anything that you want to do, that you say you want to do and you're not doing. And because we all have limiting beliefs about ourselves that we just need to acknowledge. Once you acknowledge it,
so you can move
once
forward.
you acknowledge, you can move forward. But we have to somehow figure out what those limiting beliefs are in our lives that hold us back.
I promise next Thursday I'll be sitting in front of the camera.
Okay.
Hopefully, people say, I heard that voice. Who is he? Who's that guy? Who is he? Who's that guy? So if we can get, if we can have someone who can manage the camera, I'll be more than happy to sit behind the microphone in front of the camera, so they can see the guy who's been giving you guys a hard time. Well, it's been really a blessing. I've seen people now, more people joining at the end of the show. Look at this.
Wow.
More people are coming, but guess what? Please tune in to next week from Thursday. There will be 2 segments. We have Evangelist Blandford just tunes in now, and he say, "Hello, Dr. Love."
What's going on?
Okay, she say, "Okay, hello, Dr. Love."
Somebody likes you out there, Dr. Love.
So, me, my name is Mr. DT. And again, if you have talent, I'll encourage you to go to www.discoveryidols.com. There's a ton of artists that we promote. We are promoting, and go vote for them. Watch their video, vote for them. They need it. And if you are a Christian artist, you can go to www.usdiscoverytalent.com. And again, you can consider a US Discovery Talent Radio as your home. I welcome all of you. I like to say hello to Benji, hello to Evangelist Blandford. I like to say hello to Inaida Kandaro. I like to say hello to Raja, hello to Dana. I'd like to say hello, bonsoir to Miss Franchette. And also hello to Jack, Anani, Sharma, hello. Charlotte Etienne, hello. And there's if I miss your name, yeah, because there's so many people who join in now, you cannot see the screen anymore. They're so far.
Wow.
So I'd like to thank all of you who participate. This is something that touch everyone, because everyone, one way or another, you find yourself in a relationship. You might be in a relationship, the relationship you have with your brother, a brother, sister, because we're born to be in a relationship. That's how God created us. Nobody can be by themselves. We all where God created every one of us to be in a relationship. There's all type of relationship. The relationship you have with your brother is different. The relationship you have with your sister, the communication is different. So we have a certified life coach, Mother Nature. She's here, and again, if you have any question, write down all your questions. If you struggle in a relationship, write your questions down next Thursday, and write this phone number down also. In the meantime, let me put the phone number down if you wish to call. So you can call, you can ask her questions about if you struggle with your relationship. She'll be more than happy to guide you.
I'd also like to remind everyone that if you missed some of the stages we talked about because you came in a little bit later, I'm not sure when you popped in on the show, but this will be, you'll be able to view this on YouTube, because you can go in to US Discovery Talent Radio and get the
They can go,
view,
yeah,
right?
They can go
show.
to the
So you can see
radio
it from
station
start to
directly.
finish.
You can go to the station directly, like you say, US
Right.
Discovery Talent Radio .com, or they can go, when they go to YouTube, they can type Discovery Talent Radio. They'll see
Perfect.
all the show,
All the shows.
all the
that we've
shows
done.
that we've done. They can see everything, and also if they want to send us an email, they can send me they can send the email info@discoveryidols.com, or they can send me an email to my personal email, menblack, spell MANNBLACK 027 @gmail.com. That will go straight to my immediately somebody's listening because they call me directly right now. So
Good.
and again, if you have talent, like I said, if you have talent, you can call me directly. My phone number is 561, let me put it there, 561-541-1878. So I'll be more than happy to give you more information, because the agency, we promote your music on the radio 24/7, and also we coach all artists, and also, like I always say, if you're an artist, this is the formula. This is what you need in order for you to succeed. You need to have an agency to promote you. Secondly, you need to have an entertainment law firm to protect your work. And third one, you need to have a manager and a booking agent. If you don't have these four elements, you're in trouble. And we can provide you the agency to promote you. And promote you, that's mean play your music, and we can coach you, and we can provide you with the entertainment law firm to protect your work. And if you don't know where to find a manager, we can guide you to get the right manager, and also the booking agent. If you don't have an agency to promote your work, no entertainment law firm is going to pay you any money, because you're going to waste their time. If you're an artist, you cannot even have an agency behind you, no, I can tell you that you're wasting your time by knocking in a law firm, because they're going to charge you so much money. You need, when you go there, they're going to ask you, what do you have to offer? What do you have? So that part, what do you have? We can coach you, we can help you to get there. Because by the time we package you, when you go to the entertainment law firm, they'll be the one who pick up the phone call, find you a manager to manage you and manage your talent. Secondly, find you a booking agent. The real booking agent will not touch you unless if you have an attorney. Because if you don't have an entertainment law firm, you'll be sorry. They'll take everything you have. And also your product. They will be making money, but you're making peanuts. So this is what we provide when we're saying that we coach the artists. And again, they can go to www.usdiscovery. They can go to www.discoveryidols.com. They'll find all the information. The website can be translated, can be trained to any language in the face of the earth. Nobody can say that they don't understand. And they can go to the radio station, usdiscoverytalentradio.com. They can see all the artists right now. We're playing their music 24/7. Okay, 24/7 they're playing their music. And at the same time, if they go to discoveryidols.com, they'll see the artists right now we are promoting. They can vote for them. They need that.
Great. Well, I want to thank everybody for listening in tonight. And as we mentioned, if you'd like to see the show in its entirety, please go to usdiscoverytalentradio.com and view it again. And I hope to see everyone next week and people calling in and asking questions. Thank you very much.
The microphone is off.
Okay.
The microphones are off.
Good job, Dr. Love.
Thank you.
Where's your, oh, thank you.
Yes.
I was so surprised that Althea came tonight. She wasn't supposed to come. She might not be here.
Oh. Life coach.
No. We want everybody to read the part in the air.
Oh, read your card?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We're not off yet. We're not
Oh,
off
okay.
yet. We're not off yet.
All right.
Give you time to open
Oh, I
your
thought
phone.
we were.
No. And you
What you have to do is open it up this way. You just go like that.
Oh,
And
you
it has a
wasn't
message.
watching.
There's a message
So
for you.
you going to explain to them.
Oh. Oh, okay. You're gonna read what's inside. It's a thank you card, kind of. Right now?
To them?
Hi everyone, I just wanted to share our thank you card that I have here that they're just randomly given to everybody that was in here tonight. And Dr. Love, would you like to share yours?
Yes. This one says, how beautiful a day can be when kindness touches it.
Excuse me?
How beautiful a day can be when kindness touches it.
Wow. Well, mine say, alone we can do so little. Together we can do much. I'd like to make a comment on
Wow, that is like perfect for you because
Yes.
you rally everybody together.
that. Okay? Alone we can do so little.
Little.
Together we can do so much. Let me share that. Not too long ago, I want to put this together. After I built the radio station, I said, listen, there's so much out there. I want to give the underdog a platform. I want to give the underdog a platform so they can share their experience. They can share their story. The first person I came to, it was you.
Oh my goodness, that was a long time ago.
I mean,
That was a long time ago, and he was so excited about all the talent that was coming on. It was exciting to hear.
so I mean that's
Yeah.
perfect.
It was exciting. to
Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. There is no way on earth I could put this thing together by myself. So that's mean you out there. I'm asking you. As the little card said, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. I'm asking you to go ahead, share this video segment to everybody you know. Share it, like it. And I look forward to see you guys this coming up Thursday with all your questions, and I want everybody to call and ask questions. Oh, I'm seeing people say, wow, we were, some people already say yes. So, what you'll say?
Well, no, I just am thrilled that everybody's listening and we're getting some feedback, because we do need feedback to know what, if you like it, if you would like to hear, and different subjects. Let us know.
Let us know. Yes.
Any kind of subjects that you'd like to hear about that we can bring to light and do research on to bring to the surface.
Yeah, I mean, if there's something you see that you would like for us to cover, and this is my personal email address, I'm going to put it there. Email me with your comment, and also with any question, regarding anything. So we'll do the research, and we'll come with it. Men Black 027 at gmail.com, and so any other?
I wish we could give a thank you card to everybody that was on tonight. But if you give us an address, I'll send you one. You let Claude know. You let Dr. Discovery Talent know what your address is. We'll send you one in the mail.
And this is for real. If
For
they
real.
send us your information, if you need a card, we will send it to you. And also, if you have a story you need to share, let us know. If you're local, come to the station, call me, contact me first at 561-541-1878. I'll review everything, just like young man. There's a young man who was listening to the show last week when we say we invite him. He been there for two shows. Last night, I mean, he shared a powerful testimony.
What was it on?
So it's about, that was a young man. He was sexually abused from age 7 to age 16. So because of that, from his in-laws.
Oh my goodness.
And he was able to explain, to share with everybody what happened. And he came back now. He has the courage to come back to warn parents. This is what you need to do to protect your children. It's a powerful video, and that one I had to step out. I had someone else behind the microphone, and I go ahead and sit down in front of the camera, interviewed him, because that story is too powerful to keep it. We have Evangelist Blandford was there. She's one of the person in his life to protect him, and he came back. He's a Christian. Okay. He turned his life to God, and now God is using him to go back to the community where he was, and to save, to bring people out, to bring people to the light.
That's
and he has a powerful story.
Through the despair, God is using his life.
That's correct. I mean, he's saying that through that journey, he had AIDS. God saved him. God healed him.
Wow.
He's completely free from that disease, and also he tried to kill himself many times, but God saved him. It's a powerful, to the point he wrote a book about it.
Good for him.
But he came back to warn parents, this is what you need to do to protect your children. So I will encourage anyone who come across. That's one thing I say, thank God. When I tell people, God put this in my heart to build a radio station. And when I tell people, there's no paid actors or actress there.
No.
Everything you see is real, 100%. We create this station, this platform for anyone out there. If you have a story to tell, just give me a call, 561-541-1878. I'll make it happen. I'll make it happen. As long as your story, it's a story that people can learn from it. Okay? If you're an artist, same thing. Yesterday, you could say, nobody gave me a chance. Today, you can't. Because we play your music 24/7. We'll interview you. And we'll let people know we can coach you. We'll coach you. We have entertainment law firm, and also they can go to discoveryidols.com. They see the law firm. The attorney is there. He's a musician as well. He's one of the most powerful law firm, entertainment law firm in the state of Florida. Yeah, they have an office in West Palm Beach. I'm going to give them the phone number. Look, in West Palm Beach is 561-478-9930. In Miami is 305-379-7676. That law firm, I just had a meeting with them today. Some of the clients, that the guy who came out with the Nene song is a powerful law firm, and is there. And also the best part, his father is the one who created the festival here in West Palm called Sunfest.
Wow.
Sunfest.
Fantastic.
So those guys, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
When it's come to Sunfest is one of the most. Anyone in state of Florida, they know Sunfest. Sunfest. His father is the one who put it to. He's the grandfather of Sunfest.
Wow.
And so this is the law firm that stand behind the program.
They sponsor it.
They sponsor the program. That law firm. They call it Finley Bologna International. They do entertainment law firm, contract, just name it, and they do immigration as well. So this is a real program. I will encourage any artist out there, anybody who has talent, go to discoveryidols.com, see for yourself, and also go click on agent. You'll see the law firm. You see all the information. He was the director of motion picture here in Palm Beach. Okay, this guy been in the entertainment industry over 25 years. So this is real. So that's why I tell people, do your homework, check it out, and also this guy is a member of the Florida Bar. And also myself, I'm registered with the Florida Bar as well. So we do everything straight by the book. So yes, I look forward to see everyone next Thursday from 8 to 10. Close it.
Well, God bless everyone out there, and please keep in touch with us, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
We can talk.
Good show.